to Face. Welcome to the new season of Face to Face. Face to Face has changed. You will see a new season of Face to Face with more lively, useful, and interesting debate. Communist Bloc versus Blitz. Let's start Face to Face.
Yeah. Hello, and welcome back to Face, the premier English debate show on Korea's global satellite TV station, Arirang TV. I'm Logan, I'll be your MC of the show today. As usual, we have an exciting debate lined up for you. We have two teams here who will debate to the death about a very important issue. In proposition supporting the topic today is Team Communist Bloc. Yeah. Very excited party members. Just quickly introduce yourselves and tell us who you are.
Okay, my name is Van. I'm very nice to be here.
Okay, my name is Ray, and I'm a student, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. And last but not least?
Hello, my name is John, and it's my pleasure to be here. And our slogan, shall we say it now?
Say your slogan.
1, 2, 3. Let's
go
CB! Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go CB! Welcome to the show, CB. Good luck for the debate. The team you will be facing in opposition is Team Blitz. Woo! Welcome to the show, Team Blitz. You just quickly tell us who you are?
Okay. Hi, I'm Taisel Park, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, my name is Sungmin Kim.
Hi, my name is Fresh. Everyone calls me Fresh, and nice to meet you, everyone.
For slogan? Okay.
Slogan.
1, 2, 3.
Let's play some blitzball.
Let's play some blitzball. That's right, the blitzballing opposition team from Seoul National University, right? So those are our two teams today who will be going up against each other in this engaging debate. But before we go into the debate, we have our expert judges here to evaluate this debate. On the left is Miss Ayang Kim. To her left is Mr. Jason Jarvis. Yeah. Hand circle in the air thing means happy. Last but not least is Andrea Che. Okay, so that is our setup for today. We have our teams, we have our judges, we have our audience. All that is missing is our topic. And here is our topic for today's debate.
Today's topic is formation of public opinion on internet is beneficial to society. As the number of internet users has soared in recent years, the World Wide Web has come to play a pivotal role in determining countries' political situations, cultural trends, public opinions, and even people's behavior. That's because the internet offers opportunities for interaction and the free expression of personal opinions. Is the formation of public opinion on the internet detrimental or beneficial to society? Where do you stand on this issue?
Okay, and there we have it. A very interesting and current topic, if I may say so myself. The formation of public opinion on the internet. Is it beneficial to society? Or does it do more harm? Does it help? Does it hurt? Does it build? Does it destroy? Does it enrich? Does it reduce? Basically, is it good? Is it bad? Right? So the proposition team will be arguing, the Communist Bloc, interestingly, will be arguing in defense of public opinion on the internet. And the Blitzers will be saying no. Are you guys ready? Yeah. The floor is yours.
Round 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we believe shaping public opinion through the internet is much more beneficial and valuable to the societies than any other forms of communications. I think the internet is a revolutionary tool which allows us to communicate not a one way, but a multiple ways. So far, internet has tremendously helped to contribute to formation of the societies like democratic way or matured way. Like one example is these days you see the candlelight vigil in Gwanghwamun or Sicheong, which shows general people's power mostly by volunteering. And then another example is the US presidential race recently, which shows successful case, but especially for the Mr. Obama. And these two examples, now we insist that the internet is the most valuable and powerful tool to the societies to build general people's idea freely and effectively. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Let's see what the team opposition will stand in opposition to that. Miss Say, are you ready?
Okay. We're not going to argue that the internet's not valuable. We're not going to say that there should be no internet on the earth. But what we're trying to say is that even though it's one of the biggest sources of mass media, is it a credible source for forming public opinion? But wait, for the purpose of this debate, let's just limit what public opinion on the internet is. We're talking about blogs, message boards, YouTube, not extensions of mainstream media, because there would be no debate there. So let's talk about two issues that we want to present. First, the quality of public opinion on the internet. Internet is unregulated. It's virtually impossible for anybody to control, because even in Korea, there's more than 34 million people on the web every day. We say that the effectivity of public opinion is muted by the fact that the internet is mostly anonymous, and also because there's too many people voicing their opinions at the same time. The public opinion on the internet becomes volatile and weak. Also, on the second issue, the internet plays a biased role in affecting public opinion, because opinions on the internet reach more than 1 billion people all over the world. We say this reaches the masses, and in turn, it affects their opinion. Also, the internet's only popular, one of the reasons why it's so popular is because people have this mindset that the news, the radio, they're all controlled by the government. And they tend to believe that the internet, since it's posted by people for the people, everything on the internet is true. We say this is obviously a really bad thing. Yeah, duh. And then we say that because they're so attracted to scandals, the internet tends to play on sensationalism, making stories even more interesting for the people. Thus, it becomes more appealing to the masses. And last, public opinion from others versus public opinion on the internet. Let's just compare. Printed material is reliable because it's tangible, it's there, it's printed matter. However, the internet is transitory in nature. So at the end, what we're saying is that it shouldn't be gathered, public opinion shouldn't be gathered off a source that's A, unreliable, and B, degrades the quality of public opinion. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Round 2.
That's it. That was the end of the first part. Both of the first opening speeches have been made. We're now going to move into the second part of today's debate, which is the cross-examination. The teams will have opportunities to ask each other questions and engage in lively debate. Now, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hands on your paddles. Yes. Okay.
Actually, you mentioned about some minority ideas can be hide the most of the majority ideas. But one thing more important is pre-sharing ideas. So among them, they can build some automatic, not autonomously. So that means it's not controlled.
Okay, that's 30 seconds. Sorry. You want to keep things short and snappy? Yeah, does anyone want to respond to that? Say, sure, go for it.
I stand up, right?
Yes.
We're talking about Korea, where patriotism, like I said, stems from these people think that they all have to believe in one idea. So if you look at the context of Korea, when you have a minority opinion, it tends to be shot down by netizens. It's extremely scary. That's what we're talking about in our example.
So it's not really free, because if you say something, thousands of other anonymous commenters will shut you down.
I have
John.
a comment. First of all, this debate is not limited to Korea. The internet is global. It's accessed by 1 billion people. There's 50 million Koreans in South Korea. Obviously, the team doesn't know how to count. Moreover, if you go to a website where there are open-minded people, and they do exist, you have to look for them, you'll find people who are willing to listen to logic and reason. They won't automatically shoot you down just because they disagree with you. To say otherwise is myopic at best.
Min?
Yeah, I think usually, generally, people think that internet brings lots of people's opinions, but we do think that that's one side of the story. I mean, that's one way, like, that's just extremely, like, oriented opinion. For example, there are lots of invisible threats because it's very easy to make a comment from your opinion. So there is a mainstream, and if we are against the mainstream, we are going to be attacked by people. So we can't actually make our own voices. That's not a diverse voices, and that's not a diverse opinion. So we think that internet is regarded as a good source. Sorry.
Okay, so she said even if it's on the internet, you still can't go against the mainstream. So what's the point?
Well,
yeah, John.
Now, one thing I learned when I was in college in rhetoric is that to be taken seriously as a speaker, you need to build credibility. And there are many bloggers out there who are able to build credibility because they reliably report information, they find flaws in the media, the mainstream media, and they present it in a way that's easily digestible and logical. And over time, you can remain anonymous, but people won't take you as seriously. What's better to do is to build a name for yourself. And the internet allows you to do that in many different ways.
So you can have anonymous people who are still credible because you trust what they say.
Oh.
Sure, say something.
Well, I'm still in college, so I might have learned less than you. But what we've learned is that majority of the sources on the internet, what about the ones that aren't credible, but people still believe in these sources from the internet?
Okay, we've got a bit about credibility and reliability. I think we've talked about that a little bit more. I want to spread the discussion a little bit to talk about maybe technological access. Like the internet's powerful to people who can access it. Most people can't. Does that create a gap between the people who can and cannot access the internet? Between the have iPhones and not have iPhones?
I have something
John,
to say
yeah,
about
sure,
it.
go for it.
Well, you know, it's unfortunate that there are some 5 billion people in the world who can't use the internet yet. However, we are seeing one laptop per child programs in South American countries. These are sponsored by corporate conglomerates. Now, you may argue that the purpose behind these programs is to spread the Microsoft name and to create loyalty to a brand, and that might very well be true. Nevertheless, it provides access to information to these poor people in underdeveloped nations such as Peru, for example. And, you know, the internet is facilitating more greatly every day, and eventually it will saturate and be world over.
Do you really think that it is really hard? I mean, it's really easy to distinguish the truth and truth from the false. I mean, it is absolutely difficult for us. I mean, our netizens to distinguish those kind of things. For example, there has been many rumors around the entertainers in Korea, and actually, almost all of the rumors are actually, which stemmed from internet, is actually they turns out to be false. And actually, but most of the netizens, who didn't know about that, they just trust that information.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Some of these people have done, committed suicide and stuff like that, and that's serious stuff.
That is a serious problem, I'll admit that. However, the situation he's describing seems unique to Korea. He's saying that many of the internet users in Korea are ignorant of the truth and will believe one source. I don't know if that's true, but if it is true, that's a comment on the society itself. And that's the kind of public discourse they have in this country, apparently. So in that case, yes, the internet, regardless of whether what they're saying, what they're reading is true or false, it's still facilitating public discourse because the information is out there and the people react in a certain way.
Say.
But the problem is, the people who post on the internet, fine, the readers of the internet aren't as smart as the people who post it. It's really easy for you to make something seem believable on the internet. Like another example, when there was this rumor, like this supposed news report that Bill Gates was assassinated and stock market prices actually dropped. That's a really lewd rumor, but it still happened. So it just proves that these people can twist the truth or completely fabricated stories can seem credible on the internet. What happens then?
Man, you should never lie about Bill Gates being assassinated.
Right.
That's just wrong, even if it's a rumor.
Well, first of all, it seems Team Blitz is insulting the intelligence of most internet users. Apparently, most people are too stupid to tell what's true and what's false, according to Team Blitz's evil vision.
Coming from the communist bloc, that's a very serious accusation.
Moreover, what do you learn in school? First of all, you should learn to be able to tell true and false by the time you're an adult. And how is that any different? How is the internet, in that regard, any different than traditional news sources? People will believe what's on NBC just as readily as what's on a blog.
Thanks. John. Say.
Obviously, because the people who post actual news, actual media, they have responsibility as journalists. They have liabilities, but that liability is extremely limited on the internet. Even if they twist the truth, even if they fabricate stories, they don't have this liability that journalists do. There's no regulatory board that broadcasts or censors what they put on the internet. That's why lies can be put there.
But, talking about liabilities, I mean, media, mass media is the most strongest weapon, and it's controlled by someone who got the money. Excuse me. But anyway, it's good. It's good that because of the internet, we get to see not only one side of the story, but like I said, from a lot of angles. And no matter what people say, if you're clever, I mean, if you're just if you're an adult, basically, you can see the difference, whether someone's lying or someone's saying his real opinion, what he really thinks, and he writes facts. So.
Min.
Yeah. I think that main users of the internet are usually young people who are immature and emotional relatively compared to adults. So how about their opinions and their thinking and their influences affected by internet?
Van, yeah.
Actually, if the internet is that bad things, what is alternative? What is better way?
Mm-hmm. That's the point.
Van wants an alternative. Do we have an alternative? Say, yeah.
Okay. The purpose of this debate isn't for us to debate whether the internet should exist or not. We also concede to the good points of the internet, and we're not saying that it should be completely banned from this universe. So you can't really ask us to create an alternative to the internet. We say there's a reason why internet is only a form of mass media, but unfortunately, because it's so popular with the regular people, we say there's a problem when these people are gathering their public opinion from these unreliable sources on the internet. And we're kind of branching away from public opinion. Tell us, how is public opinion from unreliable sources helpful to the government, which in the end is beneficial to society?
Good, that's a good rant. I think that is a short applause. No? Short applause. Applause worthy? Yeah. Yes, Ben.
If it is not beneficial, is it harmful?
Semantic wordplay. Powerful rhetoric weapon. If it is not beneficial, is it then harmful? Fresh.
We are not talking about this is white and this is black. There can be a gray, right? And we are opposed to the topics, and we are not saying that it is harmful. Of course, there can be many benefits for all of the netizens, but there's other things that we should not ignore, which can lead us to the big disasters.
Now, Blitz team has stated that they agree the internet has a tool of information, yet they seem to be ignoring that fact. They assume that people read a website in an information vacuum as if there are no other sources out there. People don't just read one blog, they read 20, they read 100, they read the encyclopedia, they read the dictionary, they read mainstream news sources. To say that, one blog's going to change somebody's opinion is foolish.
Is that what you're saying? Ooh, they're all up. Okay. Say.
We're not, okay, first, what happens when one person posts an opinion on the blog? Just that one post reaches 1 billion people. This turns other people into posting into their blogs. This becomes a domino effect. And also, let's look at the majority of people who look at the internet. They're lazy to watch the news and understand all the difficult vocabulary. Are they really going to look at this opinion, very sophisticated looking opinion that seems to have sources on the blog, and really go through Wikipedia and online encyclopedias to make sure that everything there is correct?
Okay, again, you're insulting the intelligence of the internet user. Moreover, people who read political blogs, they're more civically minded. They're curious people. If somebody's fat, stupid, and lazy, like she's talking about, they would just sit on their couch. They would just watch Fox News. They wouldn't read these political blogs. Again, don't... what a mean-spirited team member we have over here. It's quite unfortunate.
It's a rule on the show. Whenever you say fat, stupid, and lazy, we clap. So you can take a poke at that.
I think you don't know about the internet very well. If I search for the internet, and if I search a certain word, then I can find thousands of information in many blogs. And actually, most of the blogs have the same contents without a single word. They just repeat the same. They just repeated the same. Same information again and again without a censor. They even don't have and responsibility to do that.
All right. Thank you very much, Team Blitz. Thank you very much, Team Communist Bloc. Wow, that was a pretty engaging, passionate debate. I think people have had very strong views about whether we should trust people or not trust people, or how much we should control the influence and the power of the internet. I think what's true is that it's affecting all of us. I hope this is affecting you right now on the internet. That way I can say I have a part, or we have a part to play in your affectation. So when we come back, we will have the final decision of this debate. See you soon.
The two teams have staged a very intense debate. It was a very close debate. We can't guess what the result will be. The judge will determine the winner. Let's find out the final result of today's debate.
Okay. Right. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is the last part of the show. This is the decision time. We decide who wins and who does not win, who will come back to meet this wonderful audience on TV and all around the world, and who will have to look for another opportunity. The result will come on the screen in a minute. I predict it's going to be very, very close. Let's give the result. And... oh! Opposition wins 81 to 77.
The winner is the opposition. Blitz.
Wow. High scores for both the teams, indicating this was a good debate. Also close, 4 points, less than the 6 of last week. So this was a very good and very close debate. Well done to both the teams. How'd you guys feel?
We couldn't expect, such a victories. And
This is a tough competition.
Tough? How about you, Communist Bloc?
Well, actually, me personally, I feel very unsatisfied because I had lots to say at the end. I was warming up in the process, and then I...
Post it on your blog, my friend.
So
I will read it. Put it on your blog. But before that, let's listen to the judges. The judges have thought long and hard about this decision, and I'm sure they have something to say. Ms. Ayong, would you like to start?
Right. Now, the issue here for me was that the characteristic of political blogs was different between the West and the East, and so this issue is still left standing. Maybe Jason and Andrea can talk about this a little more, but I think because of this vagueness and the differentials between the East and the West and where you guys come from, I felt that the debate wasn't very well resolved, but the government still didn't really prove to me that it was a, first of all, very different issue from conventional communication, and secondly, that it is actually benefit.
For me, I could say that my margin was actually closer than the score, which I actually finally received. For me, I thought that it would be possible potentially to justify a decision for either team. That being said, I felt that I concluded that the opposition won by a very small margin, because I think that they did a better job of debating the motion as it was written rather than the motion as the government framed it. That being said, I also thought that across the board there was a slight advantage to the opposition team and the teamwork and the way in which they worked as a group. I felt that at times we had one individual talking a lot, sometimes other people would jump in and sometimes not, and that across the board in sort of the other categories that we use from a judging perspective, I think there was a slight advantage to the opposition, but still a close debate.
I'm basically going to regurgitate whatever Jason just said, because my margin was the same as his. It was extremely, extremely close, and I could have defended both sides. However, at the end of the day, I felt like while the government did win a few of the battles, the war was won by the opposition, mainly because they stayed close to the essence of the topic itself. They talked about public opinion and how it's negatively affected through the internet, and how society itself is harmed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So we've had a very close, very exciting debate, and I think that's testament to the quality of both the teams here. So let's give you guys another round of applause. Right, for coming up here and sharing with us your public opinions. Here at Face to Face and Arirang TV, we believe public opinions are very, very important. It helps shape society, hence our support for debate. So if you believe that too, keep watching the show. And also visit our website, www.arirang.co.kr, and contribute to the forum there. Share with us your public opinions. We will not misjudge your credibility or things like that, and we'll take it all very, very seriously. But until then, and for now, and for all the people here in the show, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Woo! Big day!